Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Jujutsu Kaisen. Last time around we had Hidden Inventory Part 3, where basically the gang ended up in Okinawa, then they came back. Nothing really of note happened in Okinawa, they just went to Okinawa. And then they went to Jujutsu High, Fushiguro attacked, Gojo started to deal with him. And then Gojo seems to be dead. We'll see how well that sticks. But the other person who seems to be dead and that might stick is Riko. Fushiguro caught up to them and shot Riko dead. And now Geto is about to go berserker mode on Fushiguro's lame ass. So that's pretty much where we left off. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm curious to see where this will go mainly because Gojo's not dead. But then again, that also happened in the movie, I suppose. So, just not to Gojo. Anywho. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Here we go. I'm going to finish the season, and I'm going to hope that the season wins me over again. The rest of this season wins me over again, but I don't care. Just get... You know the thing, at least, it's like, I still don't know, and we only have one more episode left of this arc. I still don't know how Gojo gets the way... I mean, I guess I'm given the reason why he uses the blindfold now. I assume the blindfold that he wears, is a way of, capping his powers, you know? Keeping a control on his powers, you know? I have no idea how Geto gets to be the way he does, and we have one more episode left. They gave a little bit of, Fushiguro being like, you guys are the greatest jutsu sorcerers, and you're so powerful, but you were defeated by a monkey like me. It's like, is that why he becomes the way he does? That's stupid. That's stupid and bad and terrible and stupid. This arc, look, I love Geto in this arc. Geto in this arc is a really interesting and compelling character. There is no possible way that he becomes that lame and uninteresting in the future. It can't happen. It literally cannot happen. There is nothing in the next episode that is going to tell me how Geto becomes that stupid. You know the thing, too. All of this about, Tengen and, the Star Religious Group is fine if Tengen destroys all of humanity and everything. It's we'll be destroyed by our idol of worship, and that's okay. Didn't Mahito just destroy Tengen completely in Season 1? All this, build-up about Tengen, didn't Mahito just completely destroy him? Because, of course, Mahito is that fucking good. Wasn't that it? Wasn't that it that Mahito just did that? Because Mahito is so cool. Oh, maybe not. I don't fucking know anymore. Maybe not. I guess not. Whatever. I mean, I'm glad we didn't invest more time in Riko, but just I am just kind of sitting here okay, what was the point of any of this? It's there's no workaround, no nothing. It's just, no, she's just dead. Okay. Who? And I really mean who entrusted Gojo and Geto with one of the most important tasks on Earth? And I get that they are really strong. But all of this is kind of their fault now. A, Gojo could not defeat Fushiguro at the time. B, both of them were like, well, we'll give Riko the choice, which, that's great. That's great. Give the poor teenage girl who's going to be eaten by a tree a choice. That's great. It might cost you all of humanity. At the very least, it cost you her. It cost you the cute teenage girl. And just, why are the villains so lame, man? They're all lame. They're all so boring and so lame. And Fushiguro has the smug face, and it sucks because I know Geto is going to be that. I know that Geto is going to become that, and that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that Geto is going to, he has this entire plan devised to kill Satoru Gojo. That doesn't make any sense. And we only have one more episode. So this next episode, better tell us literally everything of how he became the Geto we see in Season 1 and the Zero movie. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense as to why Geto becomes that way. And it's like, look, I know because I said, it's like, I'm glad we didn't spend more episodes so that we can get endeared get endeared to Riko just for her to die. But at the same time, okay, again, Mappa, fucking pacing issues. Pacing issues. We're 4 episodes into this arc. It's practically ended. And I don't feel anything. Except frustration. Like, I don't feel anything about these characters, And this has been such an issue this entire show. The pacing is horrible. And I don't know if it's that way in the manga. Now, here's the thing. Like, because I don't know. Like, I gotta think of other Mappa anime. Did Chainsaw Man have this problem? I didn't really think so. Did the final season of Attack on Titan have this problem? I didn't really think so. I'm only 2 episodes into Season 2 of Vinland Saga, which Mappa took over from Wit Studio. What's going on with Wit Studio? Why did they... Like, I know this has only happened twice, but why do they keep giving up some of their biggest shows to Mappa? I don't get it. Like, Wit Studio, you're a good studio. You can keep making these shows. It's like, I'm just fully expecting Spy Family to be produced by Mappa at some point, Because Wit Studio always just chickens out of their own shows. Anyway, but, like, I don't think even Vinland Saga is going to have that problem. But then again, if I can say that the other Mappa Studios animes that I have seen, the final season of Attack on Titan, the second season of Vinland Saga, even though I just started it, and Chainsaw Man, if I can look at all 3 of those and say, I don't really see any pacing issues here that I do in Jujutsu Kaisen, that leads me to believe then, oh, maybe that's not Mappa's fault, maybe that's the manga's fault. Maybe the manga doesn't know how to pace itself to save its life, And then Gojo got high and then killed Fushiguro. He mastered purple. Good for him. That's great. I don't care. But now we know why Gojo went and found Megumi. I already knew that, though. And the whole thing of, like, the star religious group dude... There's just going on and on about, oh, now we've done it, we've secured, it's like, we expected all of this to fail, but it went exactly in our favor, and it's great and everything, and we will finally have it. He's just carrying Riko's dead body. It's like, man, fuck this show. Fuck this show, man. I'm gonna finish this season. Because, again, everybody says Season 2's great. But man, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get this show. And you know, I sometimes compare this show to Demon Slayer because, like, Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer are often what are sort of quoted as the most generic shonen you will ever see. And while I get that for both of them, it never bothers me in Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, though, I don't think has pacing issues. They go through like 3-4 arcs very quickly. And you know what? And maybe the thing with Demon Slayer is it's fine how basic it is, you know? Like, yeah, it's basic, but that's okay. Like, it knows. Like, this almost feels like Jujutsu Kaisen, it's like it's one of the most generic shonen, but it thinks it's not. It thinks it's complex. And it's not. It's really not. It keeps, like, saying words, but they don't really mean anything. Like, they'll have these long, like, minute or so long things where a character's just talking about something. And it's like, I know you think these words mean something, but they don't. You're just saying words. I don't need to listen to this dude. For like 3 minutes. Is ridiculous. For so long. He's talking about, our plans have succeeded and, Tengen will be free and pure and won't be, tainted by this, teenage girl, and everything will be great. And even if the world is destroyed by him, then we will be destroyed by our great religious figure. So everything is great. It's like, I don't care. None of this has to do with the plot. None of this. It's the same thing where it's like 2 episodes ago. It's like, here's a 2-minute explanation of how Gojo's powers work. I know how Gojo's powers work. I watched season 1. You do not have to explain this to me again, unless you're literally just stalling for time. And I don't even know how you do that. This arc is short. It's 5 episodes long. I don't know how you're doing this. It's just, it drives me up a wall. And it's also because I watched this right after I watched Vinland Saga, which to me is like a 10 out of 10 show. And I just started season 2. Like, Vinland Saga and Jujutsu Kaisen are kind of similar, where both of these shows, people say, dude, the second season will just blow you out of the water. But the first season of Vinland Saga blew me out of the water. So watching season 2, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Not only am I going to get blown, they're going to blow me some more. It's great, isn't it? Whereas Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm just sitting here like, all right, I'm ready for this show to blow me out of the water, because right now I am drowning. I am drowning right now. And like the one good thing, I guess there's 2 good things. One just being, I like Riko. I think this story really didn't know what to do with her, so it's just like, she's dead. Just unceremoniously dead. And it's like, well, which, whatever. But whatever. But like the really, really good thing in this arc has been Geto. He's been so interesting. Gojo's just Gojo. Like, whatever. Geto has been really interesting. It's like, wow, he's an interesting character, and he's so much different from how he is in the future, but he's an interesting character. He's a good guy. I like it. I like his interactions with Gojo. I like his interactions with Riko and Kuroi. I like all of that. But now that we're almost at the end of this arc, I'm sitting here like, okay, he's really, really good. So how are they going to ruin him? How does he become such a wet blanket of a villain when he's so interesting of a protagonist? I don't get this. I don't get it. Like, what is going to happen next episode that will connect the dots, Because it doesn't make any sense. How does he go from being one of a very, very interesting character, more interesting than Itadori. We'll say that. He's more interesting than Itadori. He is an interesting main character. If anything, he's like if Fushiguro was happy. Like our Fushiguro, like Megumi. If Megumi was happy, And I like that. That's interesting. It's cool, So how does he become such a wet fart of a villain where he's just all smug and he's just like, oh, you're all monkeys? Like, none of this lines up with what you have established in this arc. Calm. I don't see how anyone watches these discussions, you know? Reactions are one thing, because it's me being like, oh, wow, look at all this cool action and stuff. That's one thing, you know? I don't know how anyone is watching these discussions, because, my God, this must be annoying. I must be the most annoying guy watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I annoy myself that I can't get into this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get this show, man. I don't get it. This is just... Like, stop trying to be so much more important than you are. Just be a battle shonen. That's all you gotta be. The powers are cool enough. The fights are cool enough. And if you want to be important, you have to use your actually interesting characters. You know? You have to use your actually interesting characters. You know, Maki, Megumi, you know, Kugisaki, Panda, Yuta. I liked Yuta. Geto. How does Geto become such a wet fart of a villain? I don't know, man. I don't know. With all that being said, because there's no point in wasting everyone's time more with this discussion, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I guess I'll see you next time, if you're even still watching. See you guys later. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. Thank you, really. If you want to watch more for some reason, there is a playlist and another video on screen. There is a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later, I hope.